Welcome to episode 4 of the Publishing Life podcast with your hosts Rasmus and Christian Mickelson. Alex is unfortunately not here for this one, but we do have a very special guest. This will be a interview. No, it'll just be a conversation with our very good friend, fellow successful publisher, Trevor Somerville. What's up, dude?
Happy to be here.
Nice. Okay, let's get into what we've been wanting to do for a while. Okay. Oh, I need to say, this is a podcast, but we are recording it for YouTube as well. So we're going to need to turn off that. So if you're listening to the podcast, go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. If you're watching the YouTube video, go to the podcast and subscribe. Yeah. But the way that we do this, I mean, we're just here to hang out and have a good time. So if you know what it is, if you listen to the podcast, you know what's going on here. And if you're watching, you clearly see what's going on here. Cheers. 3 tall, my men. Big tall seltzers. Cheers.
Ooh, this is the new flavor.
This is a new flavor. I do this just because it's fun.
Oh,
we get to talk smack and have some drinks. Mm-hmm. Yet this is work. I feel good stuff. So we get paid to do this. Kind of. Not really. All right, Trevor, we're just going to ask you. I know people love Let's set some context first. Yeah. Can you do a little introduction about yourself? Actually, can I do a quick introduction about you?
Yeah.
So we're in Honolulu, Hawaii now, in my apartment. Rasmus is visiting. What's good? And you've been living basically across the street from us for the past 5 months.
That's correct.
In your own apartment. So we've been going to the gym together 4 days a week, hanging out on the weekends, going to the beach, stuff like that. That was the context I wanted to say. Quick introduction.
Yeah. So
who are you?
I should go back to when I found you guys, because it was actually in a YouTube video,
which is very funny.
Which
now
is
we're
ironic.
sitting here. It's very, very ironic.
So if anyone's seen the butterfly effect, where one little ripple out in the universe can change the direction of everything. I was in Australia maybe 3.5 years ago, I think, just traveling, and I was working as an engineer's assistant. I wasn't qualified for the job. It was okay, but I was traveling, and I was like, man, I wish I wasn't so limited to having a week or 2 off a year and doing this job that I didn't really like. And if anyone's done a travel visa, you end up picking strawberries or cucumbers or something like that to keep going. And that stuff sucks. So I found out about publishing through a podcast, actually. And shortly after, I was watching YouTube videos, and that's when I came across your guys' videos, which are right here in Honolulu. You're doing the intro where you're diving into the pool.
Yeah, those are our OG YouTube videos.
Yeah, are those still up or no?
Yeah, they're there. I have to delete the ones I'm not proud of, but most of them are still there. Mm-hmm.
So
people used to like that quirky, weird stuff. Now our videos become more professional.
But it's come full circle, because I was watching those videos, and then probably a lot of people that would watch this, I kind of got sucked into the ecosystem, and I was learning more from the free goofy YouTube videos than I was from the course that I enrolled in, and even the coach that I'd hired for $4,000.
That's how we let's not say his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
You said they sucked.
Awful.
So I don't want to talk publishing stuff. I want to talk about how your life has changed from publishing and what it was like before. People love to hear the success story because it's super inspiring and motivating. And you're just a regular ass dude. If you're watching YouTube, you look at him. Look how regular this dude is. He looks so insanely normal.
I don't know if that's a compliment or how I should feel about it.
Well, this is to help anyone watching this. If you can do this, don't take this the wrong way. Anyone can.
Thank you. I
mean that with love. You know that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So how things have changed for me.
So, real quick.
Yeah.
First question that I want you to. I'll X out the question I was going to ask. I want to hear, what was life like before you found publishing? You talked a little bit about it, but how old are you now? 30?
33.
33. Yeah. You should be proud of that.
Getting old.
What did you do from I'm assuming, I don't know if you probably didn't go to college, but high school, the past 10 years before you found publishing, what the hell was life like? And where were you living?
Oh, man. So I had I assume more people my age can relate to this now, but like, if you go back like 20 or 30 years, like, you know, maybe your parents, they had one, maybe two jobs, and they just rode that out for like 25 years.
Thanks.
And I had like 25 jobs.
Let's go.
Because I would take a job and I wouldn't take it based on maybe like what I really wanted to do. I was taking it based on thinking like, this job is available, I need money, so I'm going to do this job. Even though like I knew every job that I applied for and got, I already knew I would never be there long term because I hated that shit.
Well, what other choice did you have?
Same for me.
Desperate for money.
All the jobs I've ever worked is for one reason. I just desperately needed a paycheck to be able to survive. And that's a fucked up way to live.
Isn't that 95+% of people with a job?
Probably.
I wouldn't know, but maybe.
You know, you'll seldomly find people that enjoy what they do, but it's extremely rare.
Yeah. I think probably like you're saying 95% of people, the jobs they're doing, maybe they like one aspect about it, but like a large amount of them probably actually hate the job. And like me, I would get up and I would go to the job and I would like physically feel sick that I was going to this job. And I hated that just I don't know, like someone who had just been there longer that wasn't more qualified than me could like boss me around and stuff like that and control.
Dude, yeah. I had a same experience with jobs, except I've only done it for 2 years, where I just worked and just hated every second of it, looking at the clock all the time, just thinking in my mind like there has to be a better way. This cannot be what life is supposed to be. So I only did that for 2 years, but it sounds like you endured it for like 10 plus years.
Yeah, definitely.
So I have a theory that I have shared with other people. Most people disagree, and I haven't had jobs very long, so I don't know. But this is what it looks like from the outside.
Yeah.
You'll often hear people say like, "Oh no, they like a simple life. Yeah, they don't need much. They're okay making $3,000 a month and living in their town. They're a simple person, and they like their job." Yeah. And my opinion when I hear that is not. They don't actually like their job. They just see that there's no other life this is their life, and that they're thinking, well, I may as well make the best of it. So let me pretend and say that I like it, because I mean, why just be depressed about my shitty life? Let's at least make the best of this shitty situation.
I got stuff to say too about this.
And some people listening or watching this are gonna get offended by what you just said.
I like that.
Because they are that person and that is true to them. And they won't admit it. Now, it's not true to everyone, but someone who gets triggered by that, they're probably the people that's true to.
But who lives like such a simple life, living paycheck to paycheck in a small place and like doesn't have much options or control in their life, is like, oh, this is good. This is really good. I'm happy to have this.
See, here's the thing. You're saying it's like simple, $3K a month. It's not simple. It's stressful, paycheck to paycheck, no freedom.
That's how others describe it. Right, it's a simple life.
But the truth is,
but it's full of
financial stress. No control, no opportunity, no choice. Like you make choices based around your finances, what they allow you to do, and what your job allows you to do. Yeah. And that just I don't see how that is satisfying. But people will pretend it's satisfying.
So Trevor, you've spent more time around these people, so you have more experience. Yeah. What would you say about what I just said?
Yeah, like the majority of people, you're going to take the path that your friends and your parents laid out for you to some degree. So like if your dad was in construction or maybe did paving or something like that, like it's nothing wrong with that job, but he's going to, in his mind, he's probably going to tell you like, yeah, get into construction, work your way up kind of thing. Like, you know, or it'll be like, okay, go to college. So you go to college. No one there says become like a professional self-publisher and travel around the world. They say, okay, you can take business here and probably get taught by someone who's never had a successful business. You can become a nurse, a doctor, maybe a lawyer, carpenter kind of thing. Like college makes things so narrow. Like there's only like 10 choices that you can go through. So I think if you don't have any outside influences, you just follow the path that your friends and your family went down, and you don't know any better. So even if you go to that job every day and you hate paving roads. It's like, oh, that's what my dad did. This is just life. I have to pay bills. I have to have.
It's sheep mentality. Just accepting what everyone around you is doing, what everyone else is saying, so you just fit in like a fucking sheep.
So because it's the easiest path.
It's the easiest path, right? You don't get challenged. No. There's no hardship. It sucks, but people try and suppress that.
Yeah.
But listen, like this used to be us, but then eventually we started asking questions like, come on, there's got to be something better.
I mean, in our teens, you don't know any better in your teens.
Right. In your teens,
I would say we never really got affected by what Trevor just explained.
You guys, in my opinion, you guys escaped like the brunt of it. Like,
yeah.
If anything, I kind of knew, like, I was like, earlier on that I didn't want to do this stuff. I just didn't have the right path. I didn't have any connections, and there just wasn't as much information available. So even though I felt like this earlier on, I didn't know how to act on it.
So here's why I think this is the reality. Of course, there's a sheep mentality. People around you, you don't want to question things. But I really think it's a case of people don't know what's possible outside of like the options that they think are available to them. They don't know that there's literally 1,000 other things they can do that can listen, like, I'm of the belief that literally anybody can make millions of dollars for themselves. It just involves, not using a degree, not getting a job, not doing those things. It involves being an entrepreneur. Yeah. I fully believe that.
My caveat to that is if you're from the first world.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Sorry. First world, 100%. So Western first world, where like everyone has running water, electricity,
access to internet.
Access to internet. That's the big one. Access to internet.
Yeah.
Those things. Then you're on, for the most part, a level playing field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so maybe back in the day you had to take on like massive risks to have a business, and like you would have to take on a big lease or put like big money down. But you can do it online pretty cheap now, and like when you have a global marketplace, you're not just like one coffee shop around the corner. Like you have the entire internet. You could be into like knitting or something like that, and boom, $1 million business, because there's enough people in the entire world that are interested in knitting. So you don't have to be some crazy business person to make big money.
That might sound crazy, but you can literally build $1 million business around knitting
easily.
So this
literally.
I know we do publishing and all, but I just want to give an example of a niche business, just so you can understand how on the internet, when you can reach basically the entire world, the opportunity that there is. So I know of someone that has a 6-figure business, and what they do is they teach yoga to other women that have breast implants. Because when you have breast implants, certain poses hurt. So they have to have a different sort of routine.
Crazy. Wow.
So her market is women with breast implants that want to do yoga. And she built a 6-figure business off of that, because she can basically reach any woman in the world that does yoga that has breast implants. And there's
tons.
Hundreds of thousands of women, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. Who cares? It's enough. Right. A few other examples quickly. I know a guy, not personally, heard of a guy who has a 7-figure business helping people overcome porn addiction. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. 7-figure business, making crazy amounts of money.
Yeah.
Then there's what's the other one? There's someone who has a 7-figure business teaching engineers how to do well at job interviews. Mm-hmm. 7-figure business teaching engineers how to do that. It's just very specific audience, very specific things. You can still build a real business around. So that's why one of the biggest things we talk about is you should make a business around something that you're passionate about, because there is a market for it. Mm-hmm. People think like these micro markets, like they're too small to make money with, but the truth is like a micro market still has 10 million people in that market that you can serve. Mm-hmm. So that it continues to always blow me away, the kind of businesses people have that they're crushing it with in the most random of things.
Or, yeah, I think a lot of people get trapped into like, oh, there's only self-help or real estate or like
100%.
Keto diets
weight
and
loss.
Stuff like that. Like, yeah, they can't think of anything. Like, oh, they're all the top 4 are taken or whatever. But like, if you chop it down literally and you have like billions of people, there's going to be millions still interested in whatever it is you're into.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So Trevor, I want to hear, we're good friends, so I know a solid amount about your story, but I don't know, maybe I don't. I want to hear things that I haven't heard before. So I want to hear basically your publishing journey, like the juicy stuff from about when you got started, but let's also fast track to the parts where you started to find success.
Leave out the boring stuff.
Yeah.
Just because when we tell people to like tell their story, you know, you mentioned this the other day. People love to just talk about useless shit for 20 minutes. So let's just hear the juicy bits.
I'm just gonna give like the bullet points, and do we want to bring this right up to where I'm at now and our
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I got involved watching a podcast. I think it was like Empire Flippers. I heard about it. I got into a course that I do not recommend and will not name. Found you guys, and at the start I just created a bunch of random books. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I would just, and not only was I creating random books, I was creating garbage. So
this is where most people start, and it's important to understand that that's okay. Yeah. It's your starting point. You don't know better. You're not gonna, do everything perfectly the first time around. But continue.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, at the end of the day, though, garbage still pays pretty good. Like, without even doing it right. So, I created all these books and a lot of garbage. I didn't have a proper brand and stuff like that. And then I come across you guys, and I remember you guys gave me some feedback, over Loom.
I remember you sent us an email. Let me see if I can pull up that email chain.
Pull it up. Oh, that's so funny. Yes, and something stuck out about your email. So we're like, I'll reply to this guy. This Trevor Somerville guy.
I feel cringe about it because I don't even remember the email.
It's probably gonna say some.
Here it is.
Just pulling up the email.
Okay. Trevor has a question for you.
I actually see a question.
So you guys keep talking. I'm gonna find the juicy bits here.
Yeah. So I had a big mess. And I had a lot of bad books and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, I don't know what to do kind of thing. And I was just like overwhelmed because I had so much shit. Like I just created a big mess. So I probably had like 100 books or something like that.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah, it was just like, it was crazy because I didn't know what I was doing. I was still making money though.
Were a lot of these like super short books?
Yeah, lots of short ones, lots of just like poorly done ones. There was no branding done. They didn't have reviews, a lot of them. I wasn't running ads to them properly. And it was just scattered. And I remember you guys saying,
I'm wondering how you come out with 100 books. That's what I'm wondering.
We
won't get into that, but
because like,
don't ever do that, and whoever's listening to this.
Yeah. So like this is early on though. Like I don't know. This is probably like 2 years ago.
Things have changed.
Maybe
Things have changed.
More. Yeah.
That's kind of what was being taught.
Yeah,
pump out a bunch of books, volume.
Yeah, it was like get all these books out, but now we know that's a lie, and actually way less books.
Now you can have a
Yeah, way less books, way higher quality, way more reviews.
Yeah, hundreds of reviews,
if not thousands.
Yeah, per book.
Yeah.
So now you can have a 6-figure publishing business with like 3 to 5 books.
If you have a book with over 100 reviews, how can it not make money? Anyway, we won't get into this, but that's basically how
it can, obviously, if you have bad cover, bad title. But when you nail those big 3 that I just mentioned right there, then it's hard to not make money.
You're never going to get like those awesome reviews with a shitty book anyways. So.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
So, did you find the email?
Yeah, I did find it here, but I mean, I don't know what to say out of it. It's just a whole lot of text. So we're just going back and forth. We gave you some feedback on your books and whatnot.
You can say
what year was it?
2019, September 2019, October 2019.
October 2019.
Yeah.
Not that long ago.
Not super long ago, but
it was right before COVID hit.
No, it's not.
A few months before COVID.
No,
that's 2021. Hold on.
No, beginning of 2020. March 2020 was when COVID hit. So this is like 5-6 months before.
Yo.
Seems like it would be longer ago.
Is that true?
No, there's gotta be old. No,
there's a year missing here.
There's a year missing. It's 2018.
This is like a year missing. Maybe over a year and a half.
But it says 2019.
Yeah, but it's the wrong email chain that you must be looking at. Okay, quick question I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Did you? No, you didn't finish wrapping up your journey before I jump into the next thing. But yeah, you had a massive publishing business and.
Yeah, so I just had. It was just a complete disaster, and you guys gave me some feedback, and it was just a bunch. It was the feedback, and it was the little things and learning from the course, and then it's like the puzzles start to come together. And then at a certain point, things started to improve. I produced better quality books. I put less attention on the ones that already messed up, and I just like swept
learning
them under the rug.
experience. Learning experience.
And I started making pretty good money. I think my best month was like somewhere between 15 and like 20,000 or something like that.
Juicy bits.
That's pretty juicy
right there.
And then at a certain point, I decided to sell the business. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
No, I do want to hear about that
because I don't think we cover that in the course. So
it's
like
rarely talked about.
Thing.
People don't really, most don't really know that this is an option. That when you're building a publishing business, you're building an asset that can be sold.
Yeah. So you sold your publishing business. Another one of our friends has sold a publishing business. Are you allowed to say the platform you sold it on? Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Empire Flippers.
They would like you to say so.
Yeah. Okay. Empire Flippers.
I don't feel bad like giving them that because
they were good. Were they good at helping you?
The Empire, they were good. And the Empire Flippers podcast is where I found out about publishing in the first place. So I was like,
you already mentioned Empire Flippers podcast.
Yeah.
Full
Dude,
circle
we better
here.
get a sponsorship
Full
on
circle.
here.
Are you allowed to say, or as close as you're allowed to? There's some things you can't say for non-disclosure reasons.
Yeah.
How much you sold it for?
Yeah, we'll say like a lower six-figure number.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's
A lot of people.
cash
That would
in
be.
one. Did you get it all in one direct deposit?
That would be a dream come true for a lot of people.
Okay. Quick
Big
question.
fat 6 figures straight into the account.
And
So-
if you especially if you haven't had that before, it's just like, oh,
Right.
like I got some
Right,
money.
so that-
I got some money now.
When that got deposited into your bank account, that was the most money you'd ever had.
Yeah.
So I want to ask,
by far.
what did it
far.
by far? I want to ask.
Because you're probably paycheck to paycheck
Well,
up until for most of your life at least.
Well, yeah, and then like up to that, I had like some money, decent money coming in for quite a while. But yeah, I never had like six figures. Just like, you're refresh. It's like blah. And you're like, yo, like that's some money.
You walk around with your chest puffed up a little
Dude,
bit.
I'm pretty sure that like I was waiting for it just like to come through, and then it came through, and I was just like. Looked at it for like maybe like 10 minutes. And
Dude,
like,
yes, that's definitely
that's a good number.
One of my top hobbies these days is just opening up my Chase online banking and just looking.
If you're having a bad day, just open that thing.
Yeah, just
up.
open the thing. Oh,
For some people, it doesn't make you feel
life
better.
ain't as bad as it might have felt like from being
Yeah.
But I want to be honest. How did it feel when you received it? What was going through your head? How did it feel to receive the money and have it in your bank account?
Felt good.
I want you to elaborate.
Well said, Trevor.
Because I know things have changed a little bit.
Yeah. So, okay. So like when you're working a regular job and you gotta pay rent and bills and car, whatever. Like a lot of people are just barely getting by, or you're going backwards, or you're saving a little bit. But when they drop,
you gotta dip into that credit card. Take some
it's
debt out
like
in order to
you
cover
always
everything.
Kinda, but then when they just come in and like Scrooge McDuck your bank account, like you'll go like, all right, I want to get like some Chinese food or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. You're not like trying to see if you got the money. You're just like, yeah, I'll have that. Because
that's how life's supposed to be. That's how life's supposed to be.
And I mean, like the reality is, if you get enough money in your bank account and you have even a small interest from it, it probably covers your basic living that you worked for. Usually you'd be trying to make that $3,000. Mm-hmm. Go put a few $100,000 in your bank account, get a small interest return on it, and that also covers your job. So like you only need one or two good exits, and you could technically be in a position to retire.
100%.
So I know the last thing I heard is that you want to, maybe things have changed, but you wanted to build a publishing business that you could exit for multiple 6 figures, if not 7, and then you'd be like, damn, I'm set for a real long time.
Yeah.
And that's certainly possible.
And so, okay, let's talk about that. So just going back to AIA, the way it's set up and stuff like that is the perfect setup for
selling.
For selling like later on, because when you sell, you go through like interviews with a buyer. So you'll get like multiple buyers, and like it was kind of intimidating at first because you're like, oh man, like these guys.
There's some big boys that got
money
money.
On the phone, and they're like calling you from New York, and they're, oh yeah, we buy businesses like every month, kind of thing. Like they got a ton of money. They're asking you questions,
interrogating you almost in a way. Did it feel like that? Or
a couple were like really asking me about numbers and stuff like that, and I'm like yeah, I don't know, I'm not sure, but like other people were cool, and like they understand that the asset will pay for itself, and like it's a really good investment. But people really want these businesses because they're so hands-free. Like,
that's the thing that separates publishing businesses from any other business.
Yeah, there's way less moving pieces, and once they're in place, you got reviews and everything's figured out. Like, it is very like set and forget.
Yeah. So obviously, it's not recommended that you just let it run. But if that's that's how you want to live your life, do it. But you can literally not even log into your Amazon account for 2 years and still get paid 4 to 5 figures every month for 2 years straight. It's like with nothing. You don't. Easily. There's no customer support needs to be done. There's no fulfillment. There's nada, and that's what separates, and that's what makes this real passive income compared to. And so,
as great as it is to get a 6-figure deposit into your bank account, the truth is, over a matter of, let's say, 3 years, and more, of course, but about 3 years, whoever bought that account or bought that publishing business is going to have made more money than 100,000 from that. Yeah. So it's up to you whether you want the big fat deposit up front to invest in whatever else, or you'd rather have the 4 or 5, whatever, how many thousand coming in every month consistently.
Yeah, and I mean, like, once the business is made, like, at least on the front end, and you have 500 or 1,000 reviews on a book, you can have just an ads guy. You pay $7 an hour. He comes into your account, tweaks the ads, and makes sure things keep selling and converting. And like, it is very hands off. Like, I know people will say, I know like passive income's so popular, and then
it's good.
There'll be guys like Gary Vee who say there's no such thing as passive income.
That's not true.
Publishing is passive income.
It's like the one.
Yeah,
it's like the one thing that's, and then there's like selling T-shirts through Amazon, shit like that. But I've never heard of many people actually properly scale that.
No.
So passive income for the win.
Quick question about selling. How did they put a valuation on your publishing business?
Yeah, so there's different ways they do it. So just coming at it from like typical, they would be like, all right, the last 12 months, what were the expenses, what was earned, and a typical multiple, depending on, again, back to the course. If you create a dope brand, your multiple goes up. You got an email list, a website.
Add an extra 5, 6, 7 X's to that
so it
valuation.
Keeps going up. The better the business is. So when I sold mine, I had a bunch of scattered stuff, but then I had one piece of it that was a brand.
Yeah, and they like that. They like that.
Everyone on the call would be like, yeah, so like I've seen such and such, your books, like we really like that.
And you're like, okay.
And so like obviously it's drilled into my brain now. Yeah. It's like people want to buy brands. They don't. Not to say that a big, mess of books can't sell, because it still can sell, but you'll get a higher multiple. So
like you noticed that the buyers were like really, I don't know what to call it, turned on by the idea of buying a brand.
They were very turned on.
By the idea of buying a brand.
I can hear him heavy breathing.
Buying a brand.
Stop.
He was breathing so heavy on the phone when he seen the brand.
I'm just enjoying this tall boy. Yeah. Okay. So let's.
I had a drink before I came over.
Mine's almost empty.
You guys are always quick. I'm getting down there, but I'm just like.
Yeah. Because I'm here to have a good time. I'm not here to enjoy the taste.
I want it through my system. I want it course through my veins.
Okay, but so back to typical exit for a publishing business, it would be like 25x on the lowest end, like you have a brand new business, it's a mess kind of thing.
And is this monthly profit?
Yes.
Monthly royalties?
Profit. Yeah. Okay. So your profit. So 25x on the lowest end, and then on the higher end, maybe like 35 or so. Mm-hmm. Okay. But this is when I sold mine, but the market has changed now because...
How long ago did you sell it? Like 6 months?
7 months, something like that. Yeah.
So in just 6 months, it's changed.
Actually, maybe even like 8. I don't know. But what's changed now is just the fact that there's COVID, the economy's all crazy. Uncertainty. People are looking for good places to put money, and this is an amazing investment.
Yeah.
Imagine what you would get, like a piddly little 7% return. Whereas if you put that money into a business, like you can get huge returns from it.
Yeah.
So I see publishing businesses now going anywhere from like 40 to 45 times.
Wow, crazy.
So
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so if you're getting 45x, you probably have a little bit of age to your business. It's been around for a bit. It's probably a decent little brand or something like that, and you might have a mailing list with it. But if you have that, I mean, say you build something for 3 years, it's a tight brand, and you get to like $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month, which you guys know is completely possible because lots of people have done that. And then you go to sell that thing, like that's worth over $1 million.
Yeah.
And I think about it from my perspective, being Canadian. After you convert that,
you're gonna double that.
It's like a couple $1 million. So
that escalated quickly.
I don't know. Go put it in an index fund, and like you could technically retire. You could be out of the game after one exit.
Yeah, you could have like 3,000 coming through passively through investments.
Obviously, you're not dividends.
Yeah.
Not touching the principal.
You're not living the luxury life, but you're set if you're cool with that.
So for the people listening or watching, if you have a publishing business right now that makes $8,000 to $10,000 a month consistently for the last 12 months, you can sell that thing right now on empireflippers.com for about $300,000 to $500,000. Is that right?
Yeah.
Ish. And you don't have to be making $8,000 to $10,000 a month to sell it. You could be making just $1,000 a month for about the past 12 months, and then you go to Empire Flippers and sell it for $30,000 to $40,000 right now. So it would be awesome if someone listened or watched this and they literally went ahead and did this because of listening to you.
The selling the publishing business thing is rather unknown, and I'd like to see more people do it. It's not the right move for everyone, but for some people it is.
So
that's cool.
And if they do, hit me up. Use my referral link.
Yes.
But
is there an Empire Flippers referral link?
I think there is. I think you get
really.
I think you get it. Probably it's not much, but maybe a couple $100.
Okay. Well, we're gonna throw our referral link in the description. Not yours.
But just throw mine in there, and however you feel about it. The guy who told you about it, or
whoever
or these other guys.
Bank account you want to support.
Yeah.
Just click on their referral link for Empire Flippers. And then sell your business.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was also gonna say, it's not always based on 12 months. Sometimes it's like they're trying to do the evaluation to benefit you because they take a piece of the sale.
That's the great thing. Empire Flippers is on your side.
Yes.
They want to get you as much money as possible.
Yes,
not the buyer's side. Your side. Yeah. Strongly on your side.
They're not going to say that, but they will do things in a way where it definitely benefits you. They'll prep you for the call.
Because they want your business to sell. They want it to sell for the highest price possible.
Yes.
Because
they get a piece.
If it doesn't sell, they don't make money.
Exactly.
Right? And the higher it sells for, the more money they make. So it's all in your favor.
So what's the piece they take?
So I don't quite remember because it changes all the time, but I think it's like they get somewhere between like 12 or 15% under $1 million, and then it goes down to like 8 or 10% over $1 million. But the fact is they get you more money than you would probably get it privately. So they pay for themselves.
They have hella connections, right?
They have built-in buyers that buy all the time.
Yeah. But it is not hard to find a buyer through Empire Flippers. You will almost be guaranteed one.
Right. You'll have so many calls, even if you have the worst business. Yeah. People will buy it. But
wild.
They will sometimes do this on I think a 6 or 7 month multiple. Like if you had crazy sales and low expenses during this one period, they might do the evaluation different than 12 months. So
cool. Yeah, I was telling Charlotte, my wife, who has her own publishing business, hey, she's making a few grand a month, consistently hasn't touched it in over a year.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you could sell it for 50, 60 to 80 grand, which could be cool. But she said she would rather have the $2,000 a month passively just coming in.
Yeah.
Hasn't logged into any account in 18 months, and it just comes in as a bank account.
So you probably don't know the answer to this. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm curious. What do you think the most a business on Empire Flippers has sold for? How high do they go?
Millions. So
millions. You think are we talking multi 8-figure millions?
Maybe.
Probably.
I'm just curious.
So Empire.
We should ask them.
There's a few competitors and stuff like that, but I know that Empire Flippers has a big chunk of the market, and they've definitely done some bigger ones. I don't think they handle all the big ones because when you get into multi-millions, there's these private equity firms or whatever that
it gets crazy. It gets real corporate or something.
When you're selling something for 10 or $20 million, you get these private equity companies that come in and buy them up. So it's a bit different, but Empire Flippers definitely always has some in there for 7 figures.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Awesome. Can I change topics a little bit?
Absolutely, you may.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I also want. I hope you're changing topics to the topic I want to change to. Go.
Yeah. So since you sold your publishing business, but you were financially independent, able to travel, having enough money coming in to live on your own and do whatever you wanted for like well over a year.
Yeah.
What is life like now after you've been able to quit your jobs? Like, you will never work a job ever again. Mm-hmm. What is life like now when you are in full control over it, where you can live wherever you want, for the most part do whatever you want within your financial means, and just make your own decisions the way human beings are supposed to live? Mm-hmm. You're supposed to be able to make your own decisions, not
99% of people cannot do that.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. But
cheers to being able to make your own decisions.
Right. Cool. Yes.
I got my last sip going on.
I have one sip left. I have one sip left. I want to right, because you've done a solid amount of traveling. You've been doing the digital nomad thing for year and a half, few years. Yeah. I kind of want to hear about that. We've done that as well, so we can share a bit about our experience. Yeah. But like, what's it like? Where is your favorite digital nomad spot? I already know the answer. It's the same as our spot.
Now we're talking lifestyle.
Yeah. And how does it compare to your old life? A few things.
Yeah.
Start with whatever you like.
That's a lot. That's a lot to take in. Yeah. Honestly, when you go forward to now, it just feels normal. Like,
it's so normal.
Obviously. So most people that are in a job right now,
we're jaded as fuck.
You need some jaded to make sure that you don't, end up in a job. Kind of thing. But okay, most people are going to their job, and they're like, "Oh fuck, I gotta go to my job. Like, this sucks."
I jumped straight out that window if I had to get a job tomorrow.
They're doing that, and they feel like, man, if I could just get a little bit of freedom, like, that'd be sick. And that's how I felt too. I was like, man, if I could just do whatever I wanted each day, like, that'd be insane. And it was insane for like the first 6 months, and now it just feels like normal life, like how life's supposed to be lived.
Yeah. So to me, it's so normal not having a job and doing that stuff. Like, I like to do gratitude exercises where I talk about things I'm most grateful for. Like, me being my own boss doesn't even make the gratitude list because it's so that's how normal it is. It doesn't even cross my mind that it's not supposed to be this way.
That's just life. That's how it should be, and that's how it is.
Yeah. So anyway,
but back when I had the job, I was like, man, like, if I could just get free, because most people got like maybe 2 weeks off a year. Other than that, you're going to an office or whatever you're doing, and it's your entire life. Mm-hmm. Like, you go there all day, you go home, and you're tired, you like eat dinner, maybe you like hang out with the wife or whatever you do, and you go to bed and you go back and do the work thing, and then so you really only have the weekends. Like, it's just not the way that life's supposed to be lived, and we're kind of pushed into it. Like, they train you right out of school to get a job. They don't teach you to be an entrepreneur.
No, it's not even talked about.
Yeah, like I'm probably the strangest person in the family, I would say. Like,
you are like the most interesting man in the world because of the life that you have. To the people,
not
to your family,
not in this room, but maybe like to my family. Because it probably doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So what is how have you been spending life since you've been able to be self-sufficient? Where have you been living? What have you been doing?
Yeah. So
because you're from Vancouver.
Yeah.
But you have not lived there for a while.
Can I actually rephrase your question?
Sure.
What's your lifestyle like now, and what lifestyle do you like to live now that you can basically do whatever you want?
Exactly what I said, but okay.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
It was meant to be exactly what you said.
I know.
I just simplified it.
I didn't even really remember what you said because I'm feeling the seltzer. But
I'm feeling good right now.
Yeah.
So,
Can we get another one? There's no more.
There's no.
No, I think that's for the better.
This is what we always do. We're always like, we should get an extra can, and then like we don't, and then
because you're in this sweet spot right now, and you feel like any more is just gonna make that better.
True. Any more normally it goes downhill. Yeah. To be honest.
So okay, well, lifestyle now, like it's a little bit where you need to learn to police yourself. Like, you have to.
You say police or please?
Police yourself.
That's two different things. Okay, police.
Because you're like a dog walking himself. Like,
it's true.
You don't have someone that's holding the leash and like the choke chain and going, all right, go here, go there. Like, you need to control yourself, so you have to have discipline. But
like, Trevor, let's wake up at 7:00. We gotta wake up at 7 o'clock consistently.
We've been waking up at like 5:45.
Sorry, whatever. 5.
And so you get up. We're going to the gym, and then we start your work day, and you can kind of design it however you want, of course, but you still have to have discipline because you got to show up, and you're the one guiding your life, right? But life's good. If I get up and I decide, all right, like I'm just tired. I just want to eat like a plate of bacon and go down to the beach and swim in the deep hole.
Yeah, in Waikiki.
Yeah,
you can do that, but it's really hard to do without a lot of guilt. At least for me. Like I could take it off any day I want, wouldn't matter. But I can't do it without feeling like shit. Yeah, because I feel guilty. I'm like, no, I shouldn't be out fucking around on a Wednesday.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you still,
which is a good thing.
You have to have the discipline.
This is rich people problems or freedom people problems.
Yeah.
Freedom people problems.
But it still is a problem. Most people, it's like, all right, like if I don't get there in time, I'm gonna get in trouble, kind of thing. So you speed off and you head to work, but you have to control yourself. But it's a pretty minor problem when you can do whatever you want technically. Like if you guys decide like, all right, I'm just tired. I want to go on safari.
Let's rent some jet skis and just go crazy.
We're gonna do that,
which is what we're doing on Sunday.
Yeah. Then you can.
We'll vlog it. We'll take some video.
Yeah, we totally should.
So since you've become location independent, where have you lived in the world?
Yeah, so I started off in Australia. I traveled pretty much all around Australia, most of it anyways, and then I ended up settling randomly in Adelaide, which a lot of people that go to Australia would be like, oh, not Sydney or Melbourne, like, what's Adelaide? It's like, it's wine country, basically.
What country?
Like wine country.
Wine, like drinking wine?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can get a bottle of wine for $3 there.
I could get a bottle of wine for $1.50 in Berlin, so.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Whatever.
Now you're just flexing. But so yeah, I lived in Adelaide, and we went around Asia. I spent lots of time in Bali. Where else I go? Sri Lanka.
You been to Sri Lanka?
Yeah.
What's that like?
Different.
Brown people?
Yeah, those definitely brown people.
Tigers?
I went to a zoo there, and there's these crazy elephants running around, but I didn't see any tigers.
Please describe Sri Lanka to me right now.
It's a lot of pressure, but it's like a little island paradise. Like it's pretty small. It's off of.
How are the beaches? Is it crystal blue waters or?
Yeah. I could show you some pictures later.
Dude, the craziest place we've ever been. Well, there's a few places, but the one that comes to my mind right now is the Maldives
and Egypt.
Okay, Egypt. Don't get me started on Egypt. That shit was different. The Maldives. Oh, dude, I remember when we landed in the Maldives in the harbor. No, the airport is at a harbor. And then there were boats sitting there in the harbor, of course. And I was looking at the boats, and it looked like they were almost floating on air, is how see-through that water was.
If we can, we're going to put that video on YouTube right now so people can see it. And if you're not seeing a video right now, then it's because we couldn't find the clip.
Some footage of it? Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't think I have that
footage. I was in.
I think it's long gone. But.
I was in like the U.S. Virgin Islands, and I remember seeing that exact same thing. It looks like the boats are actually just floating
on glass, on liquid glass.
Yeah, and it's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Maldives. The Maldives was super sick.
I'd be lying if I said I haven't gone on like privateislands.org to see what the price is for a private island in the Maldives.
In the Maldives is?
What
are we talking? How
it
much?
Goes for as low as like 3 million up to like 60, 70 million.
What is how many is it like?
Oh, legit full on island
for $3 million.
$3 million
in the Maldives.
Maybe there's probably a bunch of fees, but I don't know.
Probably a bunch. You probably
maintenance costs,
tons of property
taxes.
fees.
That's some Richard Branson stuff.
I plan to buy a private island in my lifetime. That's not even a far fetch at all.
No, yeah, 100%.
I don't know if it's a good investment, but like I just want to say that.
Yeah, for sure. In our probably 40s, I can see it.
That's crazy.
Where's been your favorite digital nomad spot? And I know the answer, but I just kind of want to talk about it.
Everyone knows
because I know people love hearing about it.
Okay, so if you want to be a digital nomad and you want to do this whole
there's one spot you have to go.
You have to go to Canggu in Bali.
Yes.
And I mean, you could make an argument of like, all of Bali's great, but Canggu is like
so different from anywhere else in the world.
Everyone that goes there,
it is digital nomad.
Yeah,
life.
it's like everywhere you go, it's like, oh, what do you do? I'm digital nomad.
So Bali is obviously in Indonesia. Yeah. But Canggu is like 80% white people.
And this is
that's not to say white people, but my point is there's a lot of people doing what we're doing. It's a digital nomad community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this isn't even just like your opinion. This is just a universally accepted opinion that Bali is the best spot.
Let's call it people from the Western world instead of white people. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah. Sure. I don't think we're too worried about
I was trying to be
that terminology.
Okay, yeah. So like everyone there.
I also want to say real quick, I agree 1,000,000%. Yeah. Bali is the safest place. So we're in Hawaii right now, but that doesn't count as a digital nomad spot. No. Like a digital nomad spot has to be cheap. Hawaii is not cheap.
It's America. You can only stay for a period of time if you're not a U.S. citizen.
Yeah. Right. In Bali, you could be there basically forever.
You get visas and travel in and out, but you could stay for years.
I think there's new visas coming out now where you don't have to do as many visa runs.
So that I think
they want us flooding in. Because we're giving them all the money, and that's why they can build all this cool stuff.
Their whole the whole thing's funded on tourism, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we were in Bali like 6 months together-ish.
I spent around a year of my life in Bali, and I fantasize about being back. I want to spend 2 months every year in Bali.
So
I've spent over a year there too, and Hawaii's amazing, but. It just, I don't know. There's
community. That's what Hawaii's missing.
You describe it a certain way.
Yeah, it's got a certain lawlessness to it.
Lawless.
Where you feel really free. Mm-hmm. Like not in a way where bad things are happening, but like.
But there also kind of aren't really rules because it's Indonesia.
Yeah, there's those social rules like you have to wear a T-shirt. Yeah. You have to do this. You have things that are expected of normal people.
And the locals are amazing. Mm-hmm. The Balinese people are so freaking awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You just do whatever you want without consequence, within reason.
And everything costs $2. Yeah. Well, everything costs 25%. So you're getting a 75% discount on everything.
And you can just
or more than that.
You don't have to do any of your own laundry. You never have to cook or anything.
That's my favorite parts.
Yeah, and
we eat out 3 times a day,
and it's always so good. It doesn't even matter what kind of food you want.
We could talk about Bali forever. I'm sorry to interrupt. The food scene in Bali is
redonk.
The best that I have ever experienced. They have every cuisine, and then 20 restaurants, tailored to that cuisine. Mm-hmm. And there's hundreds of restaurants within 10-kilometer radius.
Yeah,
they just build restaurants upon restaurants upon restaurants.
I love food. And beach clubs. Giant villas. You could live in a giant villa mansion.
Let me close my eyes and just fantasize.
You could live in a giant villa mansion for $3,000 a month, or you could get, so some people can't afford that, but you could live in a really nice place for $500 a month.
Oh yeah,
prices are going up. I'll admit,
prices are definitely going up because a lot of people are flooding there. But $500 a month in rent? Are you kidding me? Gets you a real nice place.
It's insane.
It'll probably be a guest house and not a private villa, or it wouldn't be a private villa. It would be a guest house.
But nice. You could 100%. You could be just getting started out in publishing and making $1,000 a month, and you're set up. Yeah. You could go live in Bali, and you would love it.
You're not gonna ball out, but the opportunity's there.
You'd be comfortable though.
Yeah. Or you could just have $10,000 saved up with little income. You're creating your income. You're working when you're there, and then you could go there and you could live on $10,000 for probably close to a year. Or you're gonna penny pinch.
Yeah, you are penny pinching. Let's admit you're not.
But
going out and doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
And then you need money to invest in your business for sure.
But the opportunity is there to stretch that.
I hope this podcast or video spurs someone to sell their publishing business and make a lot of money. I also hope that it spurs someone who is sitting, hating their current life
stuck in a small town. Every day is the same.
And they might be a smart person who's been very financially responsible, and they have $12,000 saved up. I hope you quit your job tomorrow and you go to Bali. Maybe not right now because of COVID, but in 6 months' time,
it'll change. You'll never go back to the life you had before.
and then go to Bali and I'm gonna live off this for the next 6, 8, 10 months while I also work on a side hustle. And I also want to say, people think oh no, that's so risky, motherfucker. If you run out of money, just go back and get the same job or get another job. It doesn't matter. No, it's not risky.
I want to say fucking
go for it.
Please.
you guys are still younger than when I started traveling. I started late. Like lots of people go off backpacking and traveling at 18, 19, 20. I started at 28. So like it's not too late.
It's never. And even 28 is young.
Yeah,
you could be 48.
But lots of people start early, and you could 100% be 48 or 50 or 60. Like whenever you want to do your nomad thing, you can.
It doesn't
do
matter
it.
your age.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
And
because some people say, "Well, I'm 91," and you said whatever.
Yeah,
doesn't matter your age.
I doubt some dude is watching that gonna say that.
Well, in case
I'm
there
91.
is. Well, in case there is.
Dude, if he's 91, he goes for it. Then like
respect.
I'll help him out. Yeah, respect. So yeah, like if you're doing that same job that you hate, you're that veterinarian reception and you've been doing it for 20 years and your kids have all gone off to college and you want to do something and you want to get out of your hometown, like do it. Like
tell your boss to go fuck themselves and book a one-way ticket to Bali.
Do it. Yeah, like
do it.
Why not?
Everyone's operating their life like they're going to get out of it alive. Like
you're gonna die.
Like, I love that.
Yeah, I love that a lot too.
Like you're 100% gonna die. Like, and not to be like morbid about it, and hopefully it's like a long time in the future. But
I hope you're not shocking anyone by saying this.
Yeah. And people don't think about this, but like, you gotta go and do what you want to do, and it doesn't matter that little Bobby or Sally or friend Fred doesn't want to leave and go with you, because most people won't take a vacation by themselves or go to a movie theater by themselves. So they don't want to go off to another country. So you just got to do it.
Go to Bali. You will make 5 best friends in your 3 months there.
You make 100.
It's so easy to make
best friends. You will make 5 insanely good friends. Like, here's the thing with Bali. The social aspect and the community is unmatched anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
It's impossible not to meet people, not to make friends. So don't worry about like going and being lonely. I'm alone.
Yes.
After the first week, you won't be alone. You stay in a guest house and you'll meet people there. It's impossible not to meet people. And a lot of people, they're sitting at home fully capable of doing this stuff. The only thing that's stopping them is like, people don't do that. People people don't. No one drops everything.
My parents are gonna think that's just bad decision.
People are gonna say, others are gonna judge me, shit like that. Fuck all that. And just do it.
I love how on Instagram you make posts, like Instagram stories, to provoke people on purpose because
it's called the hatergram.
Yeah. So
tell me about that.
I call it hatergram because, there's a lot of people that are just doing the normal thing and like they don't like that you're doing something that's outside of the box because like they don't think that. I guess they don't feel like they could have it, so they don't like that you have it.
You having an amazing life literally provokes other people.
It makes
them
angry.
You know what?
And then they send messages like nobody cares.
Tell
and
about the responses.
That's the first sign that the person sending that they care a lot, but they don't even have the awareness to understand how much they care.
Yes.
That's why they say nobody cares. It's a funny thing.
Well, so people say that kind of stuff, and I will say I've like really vetted through my friends over the years, and I've gotten rid of like anyone who's negative for the most part. But there's still people that don't like it because you're sitting in lockdown, you're doing a job you hate, and then you see me putting stuff on the hatergram.
We
on
out
the
in
beach,
Waikiki Beach,
and having a drink, and then they don't like it, so they give me negative comments and stuff like that. But I like it.
And you just laugh at it.
Yeah, I think
you
it's
just laugh at it. It is hilarious. It is funny.
But yeah, it's you're. I never feel bad about that because you're showing what's possible. Like a lot of people, if you're just looking to your buddies that do the same job as you and your family, you're gonna think, all right, I can't leave this hometown. I can't do anything different. This is life. But like, you have options.
Yeah. One thing I've felt is that like. To know if like your head or your mindset is in a good place or a bad place, go on.
Exactly what you're about to say.
Go on into Instagram, see people, their stories, their success, their posts.
Does their success make you feel bad?
How does that make you feel?
Yeah.
If that makes you feel bitter and bad, you're fucked. You just have a fucked up mindset, and that I obviously didn't elaborate on that. But like that's not good. You are in a bad place. But if you're just happy for them, be like, wow, I want to be there. I want to do that. Then you leave a good comment, be like, congratulations, I'm working on the same thing. I'll see you out there next year, stuff like that. Then you're in a really good place. and then you're just a good person rather than a shithead.
I can't even imagine what it feels like to be a person that hates on someone else online.
I don't know either.
Why would anyone do that? For what purpose?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are programmed like
because it feels good.
I know why. Because like they hate their life. They hate something about themselves. They hate something. So they need to take it out on others who are like living a good life, being successful and shit like that.
It's crabs in a bucket. Like you're trying to get out and they're trying to pull you back down because it's comfortable for them, right?
Yeah. I love how people watch this and be like, oh, these guys are boasting. These guys are bragging. They got the fuck you. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
Shall we wrap this thing up? This has been very eventful.
Trevor,
this
was fun.
Very insightful.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Trevor Somerville. Is that right?
Travis Somerville.
Travis Somerville.
Yeah. I have one final question for you, Trevor.
Okay, good, because I got to pee pretty bad.
So this is a publishing.
I have to pee as well.
This is a publishing question.
Yeah.
So, who specifically do you credit all of your publishing success to, and why is it the Mickelson twins?
That's a loaded question, but
what do you mean? You're not supposed to answer that. That's my kind of humor. I think.
But that is true. Obviously, I give myself a lot of success because.
You're not meant to answer this question, but if you want to, go ahead.
Because when we go back to the start, when I was just a very normal, average person that anyone could do this, that obviously I gotta give myself some credit.
But we send you personalized looms to help you.
Yeah,
sure.
Christian did.
I feel like his was more negative and yours was more supportive.
No. It's honest. It's
we'll
honesty.
Review them later. But.
Yeah. So people watching be like, oh, they're trying to self-promote their publishing program and try to sell. Understand that.
Right.
No. Oh. No, come on, no. Understand that we're making so much money from our program that we wouldn't even ever try and promote it because we don't need more people to join it. Yeah. And the right person is gonna love
comment, and I love that.
The right person is gonna love that comment. The wrong person is gonna fucking hate it. Is gonna leave a dislike on that. I don't care. That's just the truth. It's the honesty. The truth is, don't plug anything. I don't care because we're making so much money in our business that it doesn't matter.
Ooh, heat check.
At best.
And so here's the thing: with comments like that, the awesome dudes are gonna like us even more. The shitheads are just. I just repeated myself, but you know what I'm saying.
And at best, just to a random audience, I mean, obviously you have followers, but 50% are gonna hate you and 50% are gonna love you. So.
Yeah, I used to kind of like shy away from the negativity. It used to bother me. There's YouTube channels that just make weird videos about us.
Bring it on.
I embrace that shit so hard now. Like 2 years ago, I didn't really. Now I embrace it.
Yeah. And
it does. I mean, I also don't even see it anymore. Just to be honest with you, I just haven't really seen much. Yeah. Other than like the occasional comment of just some stupid shit. So yeah. I don't know where I was going with that. But that's what I was saying.
Yeah. Let's wrap this up so I can get another one of these and use the facilities.
I have to pee.
Yeah.
Want to cross swords in the toilet?
Not really, but
okay.
Comment, like, subscribe on all those platforms. This will wrap up this episode. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you guys in the next episode, whether it's on YouTube or the podcast. I love you. Bye.